So hey everyone, right now I want to go ahead and thank you for watching the video. First of all, this is just a compilation of the last 2 years. I haven't uploaded just because I've been busy, had other things I needed to get done. Um, so the first video is actually going to be a drunk driver video. It is in the city of Laguna Niguel, and so I'm driving down the road. Everything's fine. I didn't see nothing a bit too big, and out of nowhere, as far as you can see, I there's a car that appears out of the dark in the number one lane of the northbound roadway. So come up, put my high beams just to see what's going on, and as you can see, there's a gentleman just completely plastered. I believe the gentleman that's standing on the center divider was actually behind him when the accident occurred. As far as you can see, he's just like really. I let him know that, hey, you know what? I'm already contacting the PD. Go ahead and just have him sit down for now. Keep him away from the car, just in case the car does go ablaze, because it's a pretty hard impact. I mean, obviously that car is completely totaled. This guy could barely walk. I mean, there are so many means out there as far as safe transportation between a party to another. So obviously, this guy was thinking about himself, not thinking about anybody. Drunk driving. So I'm not taking a picture of him or anything. I'm actually trying to look at my map to see exactly where I'm at, so I can let PD and responders know exactly where I'm at. Over here, you see his the other gentleman's wife walk out of the car. Luckily, and but right here, this video is of him stumbling with the cops. On this one was the same night, just in Orange County, Placentia. I came up to a car being in the I believe it is number three lane, but blocking partial of the two lane. So I made sure I had enough space to slow traffic down enough, and you can see the car is completely totaled as well. So this is the second totaled car of tonight's second DUI I drove up on. On the side, on the shoulder, you can see the gentleman on the floor. He's crying. He's moping. He's like, "Oh, I can't believe this happened." I did speak to him quite a bit, and I told him, "So what's going on? DUI driving or what?" "Oh no, I fell asleep and I was drowsy, and I I just I missed a turn." But little by little, he admitted was drinking and he was tipsy. He was not drowsy. He was tipsy. As far as here, you can see the carnage of him falling out of the on ramp from the 57. I'm sorry, the 91 westbound to the 57 northbound. Yep, there you go. Completely totaled. He said it was a brand new car too. So as you can tell, he's not. Depending on what the insurance wants to do, it's not going to cover him. Right here, you see highway patrol moving the car, but they didn't notice that the the door of the car actually dented the CHP's SUV. You can see it right there a little bit. And as far as you can see, you can just know that PD is not happy right now. You have to wait, baby. I'm doing something. Right here, you can actually. I don't know where they were trying to push it to, or maybe just try to completely get out of that lane. But either way, fire department was gonna block it. And to this day, that light standard that got hit is still dented. Obviously, they found that it was either it takes a process to request a replacement or something, but overall, it hasn't been replaced to this day, and this was early. Right here, that white van missed its exit, runs across two lanes just to try to make it. Luckily, the motorcyclist was already exiting, so it was already out. This lady decides to leave her dog out in the street while in traffic. I didn't see the dog until the last minute, but yeah. Then you got this obviously guy in a rush, too busy to keep everybody else's safety in mind. On this one, the guy did go for it. He probably just wasn't looking the right way and went for it, but he did a hand gesture and apology. Right here, you're going around and you gotta yield, but this guy did not. Most likely, the sun's gonna be in his face. He didn't see it. Here coming around and out of nowhere, traffic's completely stopped. Luckily, I kept my foot on the brake just to make sure I had enough time to stop. Luckily, I did to avoid any other accidents. On this one is a little tricky. So in Fullerton, right by Euclid, there was a gentleman running with a pup. Not sure what was going on. He looked the guy looked scared. He looked like somebody was chasing him, but there was nobody chasing him. So I don't know if he stole the dog or what, but it might be just his way of running. But he was looking back a lot, like as if somebody was chasing him, or he's hoping nobody was chasing him. But yeah, I called PD. They said they didn't see any reports of anything. Maybe they, mm, who knows? I'm not sure exactly what was going on. But yeah, I kept going on my way. I mean, if it was he was running with a child, of course, I'd probably most likely, call it in right away. But and yeah, so on this one, the guy came out of the driveway too wide, going into my lane. Luckily, he was able to stop in time, but he still, you know, gotta learn how to make your wide turns. This one, the Cadillac, he thought he was a little bit more important than anybody else, so he most likely he forgot something on the stove. I'm not sure. He decides just to like creep into the intersection and say, I ain't got no time to wait. I'm just gonna go. And that's how it is usually in LA County. So here, as this car, you see this lady. She looks pissed off. I didn't think much of it. She was missing the rear bumper, so honestly, I thought she had gotten rear-ended, and she was there to you know, probably gonna exchange information. But little did I know, she was exchanging something else. A little bit frustration, a little bit of anger with the what I think was the crowbar. I thought she was just looking for like ID or something to write down the information, but no, I see you can see a D-wall bag there. But no, in the end, she takes out some sort of apparatus from a shower head, and she goes and starts smashing up some guy's window and denting the doors and just smashing his front windshield really bad. You can see her running back after she has done the crime. Just gets in the car and says, "I'm out of here." Honestly, I don't know if that was a shower head or not, but she did not care. She almost got rear-ended. This one, again, must have left something on the stove. He was too anxious to wait for the green light, which would have been green light like in 5 seconds before, right after he decides to run the red light. They're more important than anyone else, so they're gonna do whatever they want. Right here, you can see that BMW almost destroys the Mercedes because the Mercedes was not paying attention. Luckily, the BMW was, and it was able to avoid a major T-bone accident. So on this one, you can see I run up on another vehicle accident, and there's a woman laying on the floor. At first, I thought she had gotten, how would you say it, ejected from the back seat of that car because the back window was smashed. So I thought she came rolled out of that car. But she said she wasn't able to get up, that her back was hurting, that her legs were hurting. So I said, just stay there, and she's shivering a little bit. So I went ahead and just, try to calm her down from moving. Her friend was actually more interested in trying to find her cell phone than anything else. What happened was that she ran out of petrol, decided to try to get over, but wasn't able to, and ended up getting stuck in one of the travel lanes. Got rear-ended by another car. It was a multi-vehicle accident, so there was about 3 to 4 other cars on the freeway. but she got rear-ended from a dead stop. Obviously, that car's completely totaled, but everybody else looked okay. The girl, she could have just had maybe just shock paralysis, just too much in pain, too much in shock for her to do anything. Right here, traffic randomly stopped, so either that, the guy in front of me was not paying attention and slammed on the brakes. Luckily, I keep my distance and was able to, slow down properly without getting rear-ended. Here you can see one of the gentlemen's actually enjoying the fresh air with no AC. Completely legal as long as you have side view mirrors, rear view mirror, turn signals, headlights, and seatbelt. Completely alright to driving around like a Jeep. He was having fun, enjoying it. He's like, screw it. Right here, you're gonna be able to see a driver that falls asleep at the wheel. How do I know? Because I went up after the incident. He exited my exit. I asked him if he was okay. He said, you know what, I'm just really, really tired, and I can't believe I just did that. On here, this guy was in turn lane, decides to go into my lane and honks at me and gets mad at me. Kept going. This gentleman, you can see I have a dual left turn lane. So I get in my lane and I go ahead and I go for it, but this gentleman decides to cut me off. Thinking that I was trying to like cut him off and use the center lane as a turn lane, but nope. So I try to go around him just to avoid the incident. He's still yelling, and I tell him, it's a dual turn lane. So what are you thinking? He's like, no, that's some BS. I'm like, well, go back. So he said, yeah, let's go. So we both went back, and I'll try to slow it down again, even though you've already seen that it's a dual turn lane. There you go. Dual turn lane. At that point, he decides to apologize, says he's a dumbass. I'm like, dude, you gotta talk. You either gotta just let it go or what's going on. But yeah, he was very embarrassed that he was acting that way. This one, just some person decides to cut me off, even though I was clearly already headed towards them. Now, I did change my brakes out, so this new part. This guy was randomly driving slow. I don't know why, but he got mad that I was trying to pass him, so he decides to hit the gas, and I was like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna pass you regardless. But yeah, I was driving the Toyota Prius. He was driving the Toyota Yaris. Obviously, he's not fast enough, but luckily I was able to pass him. On this one, there was a plywood debris on the floor on the roadway. Another car picks it up and smashes the Volkswagen right in front of me. Luckily, it flew right over me and didn't hit me. This one, car decides to go out and go into my lane instead of staying in their lane. Obviously, they don't care. This one was an illegal U-turn from the number 2 lane all the way across the roadway. Almost gets T-boned by the Prius. This one was a reckless driver, just recklessly swerving in and out of traffic. Loses control, goes center divider, gets T-boned. Everyone was okay. Everyone walked away. All the involved parties were shook. This person not checking their blind spot. It's okay. They were able to stop in time. This one obviously didn't. Another one didn't stay in their lane. Another one did not care at all. This one, a truck uses its load, but luckily it's just styrofoam sheets, and it just makes a huge mess on the roadway. No incident, no real damage. Right here, this girl decides to poke the guy's butt with a stick. And this one is just, it's not in Orange, it's actually in Placentia. Sorry about that. But yeah, she's just vibing to her music. On this one, coming around the bend, freeway, car completely stopped in the number 1 lane. Have to swerve into the carpool lane, but I did make sure there was no cars coming in the carpool lane. I told him go ahead and I'm try to move your car into the center divider, shoulder, and he tries, but he can't. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go try to get, but he just can't. His car just won't move. And after he tries a few times, I say, I'm sorry, but I can't stay. I can't risk myself anymore to get rear-ended. And as you can see, towards the end, he just feels defeated, and he's just pissed off, and just. I said, you know what? I gotta go. I can't stop anymore. You can see the frustration. This is just a funny one. Kid most likely woke up late, and this one, just traffic stopped suddenly, and a few cars in front of me, they ended up in an accident. I don't know, some roadway shenanigans in LA County. Not sure what was going on. Can't tell you what was said or what was going on. So on this one, it is actually a DUI driver that only makes almost makes other cars get into a pileup by swerving in and out. So you can see that truck locked up its brakes. But yeah, this car decides to just completely be all over the place. Okay, so right here you see him decide randomly swerve into the center and hits the center divider. But keeps on going. And it's turning really slow, but it sped up. But as you can see, this is how slow he was driving. And just, I'm not sure what was going on. He gets onto, again, goes into the center. Goes into on the center divider. And decides, hey, no, I don't want to be here. He then decides to go off and continue on his way. I get out just to see if he's okay or what's going on, but he's completely passed out in the driver's seat. And here are the two officers just rolling up on the incident. Now this is my video where I ended up getting hit. Some guy completely just swings around the left turn, jumps over a 1-foot center divider. So I thought he was gonna take off. So I start getting ready to actually follow him, and he does try to take off, but I think he just figured out right away that he wasn't going anywhere because his front tire was turning to the right and he was leaking everything. I'm pretty sure he had a whole bunch of lights inside his car. This guy I did ask him for his insurance information and his license. He hands me a whole wad stack of papers from his his glove box, and I was like, no, what do you want? He's like, oh, you can look for my insurance. I'm like, excuse me, I'm not there to look for you. You're there to give me your insurance. And then I asked him for his license. He says, oh, here's my phone, get my license. I was like, excuse me, I'm not looking for that. But yeah, that's about it.